Just do it.
Yeah.
Forget everything. Forget everything. Just enjoy your life,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. It's going to be
It's
awesome.
going to be awesome.
Yes. Absolutely. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I am at my mommy's house.
Yay!
And today I have a special guest for Love Black Women, where we talk to incredible Black women about different topics that involve Black women. And today's guest is none other than my mommy. Yay! So thanks for agreeing to do this. So we are here with my mom, and I would like for her to introduce herself, to let you know who she is and all that good stuff. So, yay.
Hi, I'm Valessa. I'm Alicia's mom, the mother of two beautiful children.
Yay.
My son's name is Matthew. I love to have fun. I love to
Yes.
go to the beach. I love to garden. I love to work with my plants. I like to take long walks. I just like to chill. I like to watch movies.
Yes.
I like to watch Hallmark.
Yes.
I love Hallmark.
Yes. We've talked about Hallmark on here before, so they're familiar with Hallmark. But I wanted to have a conversation about joy, because when I think about joy, I think about you. I feel like in every situation, you find the joy in something. Like, whether it's good or bad, like, you always are determined to be like, you know what, I'm going to have some fun no matter where I am. So for the first question I have for you is, what does joy mean to you as a Black woman? What is joy?
It's hard to describe.
It's okay.
It's a feeling that you can't really describe sometimes. It makes me feel happy and makes me smile.
Yeah.
And I feel good in my heart about whatever it is that I'm doing. So
I like that. Do you think that, like, growing up, do you feel like you grew up in a joyful house?
I think so.
Yeah.
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 We had so many people there, so we had to be joyful.
That part. So technically, my mom is one of 9, one of 8 if you're including all of her, I guess, biological siblings. But yeah, so there's a lot of them in the house, and there still is a lot of them. And every time that we get together as a family, there's always a lot of laughter, a lot of jokes, a lot of storytelling, and a lot of joy. And I remember growing up as a kid, being around all y'all, and it was so loud. It was just so loud all the time. But it wasn't loud in a way that was, I guess, like, bothersome.
Right.
It was like, it was loving.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, that
Yes.
with all that noise came, like, love. So yeah, so when you talked about a lot of things that you enjoy, like gardening, going to the beach. So can you tell me about, like, your green thumb and where it came from? Because I be struggling.
Well, my mom, as far as the plants are concerned, my mom had plants in her home, and she could just take any plant and it would just grow, no matter, you can put it in water to let it root or whatever, and she'd have it there for a hot 5 seconds. The next thing you know, it's in the ground and it's blooming.
Yeah.
So, and I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So I guess I took that from her. And my love for gardening, I got that from my dad. We had a plot of land that was next door to our home, and he would plant vegetables in that entire plot, and he just grew vegetables, and he would just grow them, and he would give them to the neighbors and anybody who he saw passing by. So that's where I got that from.
I love that.
Yeah.
And you've carried on that legacy of gardening and sharing, right?
Yeah.
Because you even be growing stuff that you don't even be eating.
That's so true.
It's true, right?
That's true.
But I think that's a beautiful, like, it's a beautiful one, reflection of your heart, but also I think it's a good, like, metaphor. How, like, we tend to our gardens, we take care of ourselves, and we tend to, like, the things that bring us joy so that we can pass joy on to other people.
Yeah.
And I feel like when people get vegetables, like, oh wow, thank you,
Yeah.
right? Like, just thanks for thinking of me.
Yeah.
So we talked about joy. So as a person, I think, again, as I always say, I think that you're really good at finding the joy in everything, or finding fun in everything. Like, how do you still prioritize joy and fun today?
Well, I try to be outside as much as I can,
Yeah.
and so that gives me joy. Just walking in nature and seeing, that God is just so awesome.
Yeah.
So, That gives me joy.
Yeah.
And then when I'm working in my garden or tending to my plants, that gives me a lot of joy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then when, family comes around, or if we go visit family or whatever, that gives me a lot of joy because I know I'm going to have fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah. And you like to travel.
oh, yeah.
You like to, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but
I do.
just from
I
observing.
love to travel.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And
I
low
love
key, you
it.
be treating them plants better than me, okay? I would fall down the steps. No, I would fall down the steps and like my plants.
True. True.
Knocking
There's
into the
this
plants.
thing that we have, like everybody in the house,
Yeah.
they know.
Yeah.
Don't touch the plants.
Don't
Don't
touch.
hurt them.
Yes.
Don't do anything bad to my plants.
Yeah. And I understand because she pours so much love and care into those plants. Like, it's not just, and I also want to talk about like, because the garden I can understand like growing food, but just having plants around, like, can we talk about like the importance of having things around just because it brings us joy, just because it makes us happy? I mean, because, plants can purify the air. It has benefits, but I feel like there is something aesthetically pleasing to, just seeing nature.
Yeah, it brings it's calming.
Mm-hmm.
I get up in the morning and I come downstairs and all the plants greet me.
Yay!
I talk to them, I sing to them.
Yeah.
And I feed them.
Yeah.
So it's calming.
Yeah.
That's what it does for me.
Yeah.
And so just to look at them and say, you know what, I got little babies here. They're growing and they're growing. I said, and just say, look at God.
Yeah.
Look at God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I love that. I love that because it's almost like a meditative practice, right? Like grounding and we were talking about grounding, like getting out here and putting your feet in the earth, but like really like taking time. And I feel like nature in general slows us down to be able to recognize the beauty.
Yeah.
Because I think that's in life, we're always busy, we're always doing, we're always going on to the next thing. But when we actually get in nature or walk around or just stand, right?
Yeah.
And just observe, like listening to the wind through the trees and stuff like that. I feel like that's when we start to really, one, quiet ourselves and like put our ego down, but also, again, like you said, like marvel at God's handiwork, because what the heck. And I think that much like how you're doing things because it brings you pleasure, I think that God does the same thing with us. Like, I feel like a lot of things exist, like laughter or like plants or flowers, just so God can show his love towards us.
Yes.
Because, you know what I mean?
True.
Like,
That's
what?
True.
Yes, it makes honey because bees and all that. But, like, I really feel like some things God put here, like laughter and taste buds, just so that we can enjoy life, right? And I think that's beautiful. And it's okay that we are prioritizing joy in our life.
Yeah.
We're prioritizing things that we enjoy. How do you like to bring joy to others?
I like to share what I have.
Mm-hmm.
Share my time.
Mm-hmm.
Resources, if I have it.
Mm-hmm.
Just my presence.
Yeah.
My presence.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Like, that's good. I think there is something to that, what you just said, your presence, because I think that a lot of people wonder, do they have something to offer? You know what I'm saying? Like, do they have anything that people would see as valuable? And it's like, you could just be the valuable thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like your presence, right?
Yeah.
And how did you get to the point where you were like, my presence is enough? Like, my presence is a joy?
Oh, it took a long time.
Yeah.
I guess just, spending time with myself.
Yeah.
And just thinking about things, thinking about life.
Yeah.
And knowing that you can't be everything to everybody.
Ooh, speak, Mom.
Yeah. It's hard because I try to do that for everybody. I try to be there for everybody. Mm-hmm. And so now I'm just like taking one day at a time, and when I'm there, I'm present.
Yeah.
And that means a lot.
Yeah, it is. It does. And your time is finite. Your energy is finite. Your resources. I mean, though we, serve an abundant God, like, I know that what I have to offer, you can't, like you said, you can't be everything for everybody else, especially at the expense of yourself, right?
Right.
So how are you prioritizing yourself? Like, how are you prioritizing, like, self-care and all that good stuff? And if you're not, that's okay.
I know I do sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm not consistent with it.
Yeah.
But if I decide, hey, I just want to get up and go walking, I walk with my neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I walk by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I ride my bike by myself.
Yeah.
I That's about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, usually that's about it. Like, that's nothing. No, I think it's a beautiful thing when we lean into community too. Like, community is great, but I think it's also important that we see ourselves as our first community. Like, I know for a lot of stuff, sometimes I'll be waiting for, like, oh, I got to wait for this person to do this and this and this. And it's like, no, it's valid if I just do it by myself, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's more fun because you don't have to consider what other people don't want to do, or, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so I struggle with that, you know, because I'm so used to doing things with everybody. You know, I try to find somebody to do things with, but I struggle with just getting out there to do things by myself. But I'm getting there.
Yeah,
I'm getting there.
Absolutely.
I guess I go through different spurts, because there was a time I would go to the movies and go out to dinner, and then I don't know what happened.
Was it COVID or was it?
No, I think I don't know. Maybe that contributed to it.
Yeah.
And then now I'm like, okay, got to do this again.
Absolutely. I think it's important to prioritize time alone. Because, I think for me it was COVID. I think, because, you know, before I would be like, I'm going here. Like,
yes, you know yes, you would always be going.
Yes. But I do think that, again, learning from you, like, oh, let's, on a random day, if I'm free, let's go X, Y, and Z. And, like, why do I need permission? Why do I have to work hard to be rewarded for fun? It's like, no. So I wanted to ask you, because you kind of touched on it, like, you're used to doing everything for everybody. Do you think that being a mom kind of played into that? Like not in a bad way, right? Being a mom is beautiful, but like, I do feel like that there is this pressure for women, to give all of themselves, right, to their kids and their families. And I've heard from other mothers that they felt like they lost themselves, I guess, in motherhood. I don't know if that's your experience.
I don't think I lost myself in motherhood. I enjoyed motherhood.
Yay.
I mean,
that's good. That's a refreshing take.
Yeah, I totally enjoyed motherhood.
Yeah.
From the time I was pregnant until the time I delivered until today. I mean, you know,
30 plus years
yes, later. I enjoy motherhood.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, we all have challenges and everything like that, but love conquers all.
Yeah.
That's what I had to say about that, you know.
But like,
I love motherhood.
What did you love about mother, or what do you
just
love about
being
motherhood?
able to care for someone, you know, and just knowing that someone needs you.
That's good. Yeah.
Someone needs you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Those are the
that's
two
it.
things. I mean,
no. I mean, if that's a valid answer. I feel like everybody needs to feel needed. Like, everybody wants to feel needed or valued in some sort of way, right?
Yeah.
How has motherhood changed for you now that, like, we're adults? Like, obviously it's not the same, right?
It's definitely not the same. It was, I have to understand that you're adults now.
That could be weird.
Like, that's
weird for me.
I'm telling you, you're adults now. And we can suggest. One of the sermon that I listened to today was talking about at different stages. There's the training stage, the boardroom stage. This is Pastor Keith Battle, and the boardroom stage, and the prayer room, boardroom, and training room. And right now, I guess I'm trying to transition from the boardroom to the to the prayer room.
Okay.
But I always want to have a seat at the board at the table at the boardroom.
So what is the boardroom?
Like being able to give advice to I mean,
you can't still give advice?
You know, some people, you know, when their kids are grown, they don't want their parents to give advice, or, you know, I'm just saying. I know
give me
that.
Advice.
So
because I don't know what I'm doing.
So look, half the time I don't know what I'm doing.
And that's all right.
But so always in the prayer room, always in the prayer room, and so it's hard because it's like you're adults, you have your own life.
Mommy, it's okay.
And you have different priorities in your life right now. I don't know. Just you're grown up, and it's good that you're grown up, and it's just amazing to me to see how far you've come. You know, both of you, and I'm just so proud of both of you.
Aww.
You know.
Thank you. Well, as long as those are happy tears.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. They're happy.
At what point did you realize like that you had adult children? Like, what was that transition like? Because even for me, growing into adulthood, I still feel like I'm out here just trying to figure it out. Like, like, am I supposed to have the answers? I don't know why you're looking to me, right? But like, but there's like this expectation to be an adult, right? And I guess, like, at what point did you feel like, oh, my children are adults now? Do you feel that way?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I think when you got married,
Okay.
that's when it hit me.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I knew you. I mean, I knew you were you were a young adult, you know. But when you got married, I realized I was like, wow.
Like, it's really happening.
Wow.
I was like, wow.
It's her turn now.
You silly.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's when I realized. And for my son, I still don't. I know he's a young adult, but
in theory, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah. I mean, he's
yes.
he's an adult. He is an adult,
He is.
and I just I don't know. He's always going to be
Your baby.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's hard.
I'm sure.
It's hard.
Yeah.
You know.
I was in a meeting with Black Girl Creative, and there are a lot of moms in there. And so one of the women were saying that no matter how old her children get, they're always going to be babies to her, right?
Yes, I agree with that.
So, like, even for her, like, finding, she was talking about, like, boundaries for her own children. Like, even her having to put boundaries up for herself. Like, being like, okay, I can't, right? Like I can't make you do anything, right? But, like, you still want to lead them in the right way.
Suggest.
Absolutely. Suggest strongly.
Yes.
I strongly suggest. Yeah. Like, because I do feel like, even growing up, like, becoming a teenager, I do remember, like, us, like, butting heads. And I feel like a lot of it was because I was just trying to find my own, like, way, right? And like find out who I am and all this stuff, and then you're met with like what your parents tell you versus like what school children tell you, which is like, girl, you should always listen to your parents, right? But did you and grandma have those experiences too, like with you growing up and becoming your own and trying to find your footing?
I think I did. I was the one that would stay to the house and try to do different things, you know, to help them to try. But it took me a minute before I actually said, okay, it's time for me to get out on my own now. It took me a minute.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I guess I was afraid to get out there, to be on my own, to have adult responsibilities like
bills,
paying, exactly, paying for where I'm staying, you know. So it took a lot, but I'm glad I did make that transition. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. So if you were to look back on your life, right? You say, "Oh God," what are some things that you're really proud of yourself for? Like, what things you're like, I did that.
I'm proud of the fact that I went to school. I got my education. I'm glad I got my master's degree in times when I really didn't think that I would be able to push through it, you know, because those were some tough times. And trying to handle that and work. And I'm glad I had you two, my beautiful children. I'm glad I had you two. I'm glad I actually stepped out to venture to travel on my own.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did that.
Yeah.
And so, and I'm glad because when I met you in Colorado, I was like, get on this plane. I gotta travel this far.
Yes, and it was all new for everybody.
Yes,
so,
yes. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
You showed me a little bit of Colorado, and then we enjoyed New Mexico. So
yeah,
that was good.
Yeah, got to go to, what was it?
The Fiesta.
Yes.
Hot air balloon Fiesta. Proud that I'm able to do life. I wouldn't say like on my own but basically, you know, with the support of family and friends. Because it's hard out here.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
It's hard out here.
Yeah. So let's talk about that community. Like, how important is community to you, and how do you build and nurture community? for yourself?
Okay. Well, community is important to me. I have family and friends for my community. I don't really go out searching for it, you know.
A lot more people are leaning into community instead of like, because you're told like, oh, you got to go alone, you got to know pioneer, and you got to. When you really think about it, it's like it's not helpful to anybody. Like there's a phrase, it's a African proverb, and it says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together, right?
Okay.
And so literally my definition of community and my reliance on community is changing, because I thought that I had to do everything by myself. Like, I think for Black women, because a lot of times they are doing things by themselves, and not by choice, but because like, who else is going to do it? And you know what I'm saying? Who else is going to make sure it gets done? Like, we're so used to doing things by ourselves, but I think a lot of people are either rediscovering or who have held on to the fact that no, like, we do things in a healthy and loving way to ourselves and other people when we do it in community. What is your dream? What are dreams that you have for yourself? Is it gone?
What? A bee?
Okay, well, something, yes. Anyway, so yes. So what dreams do you have for yourself?
To travel.
Yeah?
Yeah, travel.
That's a valid dream.
Yeah.
That's a valid dream. Where do you want to travel to?
Anywhere.
Anywhere?
Somewhere where there's a beach.
Absolutely. I get my love of beaches from my mom. Like,
that's where I feel most at home.
Yeah. What about it? Because it's interesting, because you didn't grow up around beaches. Yeah.
When I moved to Virginia Beach after being married, I loved that place. And you can just go to the beach anytime. You don't have to worry about anyone or anything. And just sit there. And I would sit there in the sand and just look at the Chesapeake Bay Bridge and just marvel at it, you know. Yeah. And the sounds of the beach, sounds of the waves and that kind of thing.
So, okay. So you said anywhere with a beach. So within the next year, what are we gonna say we're going here? Where are we going in the next year? You going to Mexico?
To visit?
Yeah.
I mean, we could.
'Cause I'm thinking about a scouting trip to move. But,
we could.
Okay. Playa del Carmen?
We could.
Let's do it.
You're
okay.
funny.
But yes, but who are some women who inspire you or who inspired you?
My sister.
Yeah. Shout out to Aunt Jackie.
Yes. Yes.
What about her?
Perseverance, man. Perseverance.
Yeah.
And she makes things happen.
Yeah.
She makes things happen. And I love her for that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
She takes care of everyone.
Everybody, yeah.
From babies till the elderly. I mean, she's such a caregiver, so.
Yeah. Literally could not see her doing anything else.
No.
Like, no other profession. Like, what else would she be doing? Like,
yeah.
You know.
Oh, besides cooking.
Oh, yeah, cooking and singing.
She does that too, yes.
She does all those things very well.
I'm telling you.
Singing, cooking, caretaking. I feel like she has like a hospitality spirit, right?
Yes.
Like, because even when she is singing, she's still ministering, right?
Yes.
And she sings in a way that you know that she believes what she's singing and she's trying to get a message across. So, yeah, I love that.
My mother-in-law.
Oh, tell me more.
You know, she has the spirit where she can just listen to you.
Yeah.
And you know you're being heard. And even though there may not be many words, she understands. And she knows what, you know, some people might think that she, you know, she doesn't say much or whatever, but when she does talk to us, it's like, magical, because you just sit there and listen to her.
Yeah.
And I love talking to her.
Yeah.
And then my older sister Marty, I looked up to her because she was the one that she seemed like she had it all going on.
Yeah.
All going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
The other person I look up to you is you, even though you're younger than me. Way younger than me.
Really?
Yeah, because you have a free spirit.
Oh.
You do. You have a free spirit, and I love that.
Aww.
And it's like you're welcoming to other people, and you just have a good heart.
Oh, thank you, Mommy.
You
I got it from
heart.
you.
Yeah. Of course, I look up to my mom.
Of course.
Definitely. Shout out to Mom.
Yeah,
but
Grandma.
Rest in peace,
Rest
Mom.
in peace, yes.
Yeah, she was my heart. I had to have to give her the props because without her I wouldn't be here.
Fair.
And
Fair.
she was very loving and kind, and Granny.
And Granny, my great grandma, her grandmother. Yeah.
All those women, have inspired me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In what way do you think, like, what is the legacy that you think you're making now and that you will leave because of the women who came before you, excuse me?
Hopefully to be loving and care for others, giving. My plants. I hope somebody's going to take that.
Here you go with these
My plants in my garden.
Oh my God.
I hope somebody's going to take it in or something. I mean, I'm still waiting. You keep giving me plants to take care of.
Because I keep killing them. That's why.
And Matt, he gives me a plant. He gave me a plant, and he and I both started at the same place.
Yeah.
And his has not even grown, and I'm trying to figure this out.
Yes, I don't know what it is.
Like, what?
Because my dream is to have all the plants like you have in your house, but I bought succulents to start, and the succulents die, and I don't understand. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong.
You have to love on them.
I do. Well, maybe I could do better with loving. I think I get too busy. And and then I get sad when they die, and then and then Jamal is like, "We're not buying any more plants because you're gonna cry again when this thing doesn't grow." But there is something to that, to slowing down, like being present, right? Having to, and maybe I just haven't learned those lessons yet.
Yeah.
But like, what is the? And you mentioned a few of them here, like love and giving. But like, what is the message that you want your life to leave behind for others?
I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good statement.
I am here.
Yeah.
And thank God I am here.
Yeah.
Thank God. I do. I thank God every day.
Yeah.
Because it could have been another way.
Very true. There's a wasp. I need it to... Okay. I don't... When you say that you thank God that you're here, like, what are things that you think of, like, that's like, wow, like, I'm still here after that?
All the challenges in my life. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm just like I said, I'm just so thankful for my village.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't have made it without them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Couldn't have made it without them.
Yeah.
And for that, I'm so appreciative.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So, how are you? How are you feeling right now?
I'm wonderful.
That's good. Do you feel better and more loosened?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So how do you try to make time for yourself every day to love on yourself? Like to treat your body, your mind, your spirit? Like what are little things that you do throughout the day to love on yourself? Shoot.
I eat.
Why was that the first thing I thought of? I was like, I can think of a couple of things.
Yes, I eat.
Me too. Yeah.
Yes. Whenever y'all around, we always eating. Oh my God, we eat so much.
It's true.
Look, we're already talking about what we're having for dinner, okay? And it's morning.
I haven't even had breakfast yet.
I know.
And we're still like, no, this is what we have for dinner. Eating is important, and I feel like especially like even in our family, eating food, like I mean, food in general has always been like the center piece for like conversation, for bonding, you know what I mean? Like entertainment even, like there's so much. It's not just the food you're eating. The food is good, but I think it's the company. Yeah, that makes the meal. I mean, because I could eat McDonald's in my car and be, you know what I'm saying? That's food, but there's something different about sharing space with other people and eating. Yeah. And I do, one thing when we talk about Annie Jackie, one thing I do like about what she does is that when she's cooking, like even when you're cooking, like when you're making a meal, like, so Mom will go out like, what y'all want for dinner? And it's like potato salad and chicken and like greens and all this other stuff. But I think I think that is how you love people too. Like you're loving people through your food. You know what I mean? And what I think about are the recipes that you're creating, right? Like these recipes tell the story of the people we come from. You know what I mean? And how everything we do is like telling the story of somebody else who impacted us in a way that we can now share with other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you love about being a Black woman?
So many things. I mean,
Who can name them all?
I know. To be able to be myself, and I can just show up being me.
Yeah.
Just I love hearing stories, Black history stories, even stories that where people just gather around and just talk about different things that what they grew up with, and the challenges they faced and how they overcame it. I mean, to me that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's just so much for us out here, and it's like, what do you do first? You know what I'm saying?
That's
what
real.
do you do first?
Yeah. I love that. When you talk about the storytelling, there is like something specific about how Black people tell stories, right? Like that is so warm. I do feel like the love I have for even Black people, Black women in general, like came from you. Like I feel like no matter where we were, I knew that I was Black, but I liked it. Does that make sense? Like I never felt, or even growing up in PG County, I feel like helps too. Like when you're around a whole bunch of Black people. But I feel like when you come from parents who are just like, no, yeah, you're Black, and it's beautiful, and it's just like there's nothing wrong with your Blackness, right? Like there's nothing you have to change for your Blackness. But I also still at the same time saw you maneuver through the world that is not very kind to Black people, right? So like code switching, or like speaking a certain way at your job versus like at home. But I always felt like there was never a part of you that you were like ashamed of. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like balancing both. You know what I mean?
Code switching sounds such a bad thing. People have to adapt to their environment in order to do what they need to do.
Absolutely.
Whether it be talking in a certain way, because in the business world, that's what's expected.
Yeah.
And so, so that's why I said I don't think it's not a bad thing at all.
No, I don't think it's a bad thing at all.
No.
I feel bad that it has to be that way, right?
Yeah.
But code switching, let's be clear, is a skill, because a lot of people don't have it. They're not able to code switch. And it just makes me sad that we have to live in a world where we have to push down our natural way of speaking, our natural rhythms, our natural cadences, like our AAVE, our culture, to, be able to integrate, I would say, integrate in society that doesn't love Black people. They love Black things. They don't love Black people. But no, I'm not saying that to you as like a, that's not a judgment or anything like that. I'm grateful that I have the ability to do that. You know what I'm saying? But I also see people who can't do that and how they're treated, or, treated or turned away, like they're less smart, or like they're less, skilled. And I think that's trash. I think that's horrible.
Right.
But I do appreciate you teaching me that, because I remember growing up and you're like, it's not like, like we don't say these things. And I get it. Like at the time I was like, I don't understand, right? But I understand now. Like I get it. Like it's a survival skill.
Yeah.
It's a survival. Like you have to survive in this world, and so this is what you have to do to survive. Who are you becoming? And it's open-ended. You can answer anything.
I'm finally becoming me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is you? Is it a bee?
It looked like a beetle.
Oh, okay, never mind. My bad, y'all. I don't do no animals. Animals that sting. But go ahead. You say you're becoming you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who is me?
Who is you? Yeah.
Who is you? A little more confident. Being present in the moment. For people to see who I am.
Yeah.
And accept me for who I am, and if not, then next.
That's right. I know that's right.
Next.
What did it take you to get there? To get to the point of acceptance?
Prayer.
Yeah.
Prayer.
Yeah.
You talk to people, you listen to what they say. Sometimes you agree, sometimes you don't.
Not rolling your eyes.
No, I mean, sometimes you agree, sometimes you don't, but in the end, it's what you believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fly. So. It's a fly.
Okay. I just don't want to get stung.
No, you won't. I won't let you get stung.
Appreciate you. But like, what why did you feel like you couldn't be yourself before? Like, what was holding you back from being yourself?
Thinking about everyone else's feelings.
Yeah.
How would they perceive me if how what they would think, what they would say, how would they react.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Same. I have a huge fear, and I'm still working through it every day, but I'm trying to show up in spite of that fear, like to be like, okay, fear, it's valid, right? Because again, nobody wants to be ostracized, nobody wants to be talked about, nobody wants to be put down. So the fears are valid, right? Like we don't want to be treated by other people, or we don't want to be seen by other people too. That's something I'm working through.
Yeah.
Being seen by people, because now there's an expectation. And so if I don't meet that expectation, then I'm failing somebody, right? And it's like, but why am I putting all this pressure on myself, like, to uphold somebody's version or standard of me, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just like, why can't I just hold, like, if I'm showing up in a moment authentically, even if I, contradict myself yesterday, like, being open to evolving, right? Being open to being all of who I am, including the contradictions. But I do agree. I do see in you being more of yourself. I do, and I'm proud of you. I do. Like, because you wouldn't even do this, okay?
Yeah.
So to me that's huge. And I'm loving the growth. I'm loving it. I'm serious.
Funny.
But yeah, but no, the fear of what people think, what they say. I realized that I was idolizing people a lot, like, because I feel like I was asking, like, okay, what do I idolize? And I think the answer was whatever you shrink down for. That's the answer I got. Okay. And so that was so much. And so I had to ask myself, like, okay, in what ways am I shrinking down? Where am I shrinking down? And I was like, people. People, because of what they say, what they do. And it's like, low-key, I'm not even afraid that someone's going to, like, kill me. I'm afraid that they're going to kill me with their words, right? Like, they're going to defame my character or whatever based on, or let people down. I think I have a fear of letting people down a lot. And so that kept me in bondage. And so I'm grateful that I'm like, I show up in spite of the fear. I try and I'll be like, okay, post and walk away. Like, cause the fear will take it down. It's stupid or whatever. Like, we nitpick so many things, but there's so much beauty and freedom that comes with, like, doesn't it feel good? Like, just to be yourself.
Yes.
Like, this is who I am.
Yep.
And that way you're not managing all these different avatars or pieces of yourself for different people. It's like, no, this is just who I am. Yeah.
This is it.
Absolutely. So the first question I have for you as we wrap up. Oh, I like these little flies. They're cute. The little, like, tiny flies with little. Yeah, they're cute.
Till they get big.
Oh no, they get big. Okay, I was saying they're cute. But so the first question I have for you is, what advice would you give yourself 30 years ago?
Take the chance. Take the chance.
Tell me more.
There's so many things that I could have done that I was afraid to do by myself.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Forget everything. Just enjoy your life.
Yes.
Because it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome.
Yes. Absolutely.
I know there were challenges or whatever, but ultimately it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. That's real. That's real. Okay. And the second question I have for you is, yourself, if you could picture yourself 30 years from now, what advice would your 30-year-old what advice would yourself 30 years from now give yourself today?
You did it.
Yeah.
You did it.
My older self would tell yourself now that you did that.
Yeah, you did it.
Yeah. Tell me more.
No, I mean, just taking chances.
If you want to, you don't have to.
Just taking chances, just stepping out and doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. What word of advice would you give yourself now?
Just do it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nike.
We don't want no problems. No lawsuits. But just do it.
Yeah.
What is that?
Like you say, just do the thing.
Yeah, just do the thing. Right? Just do the things. What things do you want to do that you could look back on in this moment that you want to share? You don't have to share everything. What things do you want to do that you can think of in this moment that you hope a year from now you can look back on and be like?
Camping.
Okay.
Fishing.
Yeah.
Traveling more, visiting family, and spending quality time.
Yeah.
Quality time with my family and friends, because that's what's important.
That sounds beautiful.
That's what's important.
Yeah. What is your definition of success? Would it be those things?
Just being happy and content. Happy and content.
What's the difference for you?
For what?
No, go ahead. You said that's my way.
That's what I'm striving for.
Yeah.
To be content. You know, in whatever I'm doing. Just be present in the moment and just enjoy it while I'm there.
Yeah. What's the difference between, I guess, like happiness and contentment for you? Or are they the same in your?
They're sort of intertwined.
Okay.
Because I feel like if I'm in a state of happiness, I'm content with where I'm at that moment.
That's real. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And one more question as we close out.
I
know I lied. I'm sorry. I lied. In your definition of joy, what are the recipes? What is the recipe in your mind for joy?
Show up as yourself. Share yourself with others. Just be present.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And have fun.
Yeah.
You know?
What else are we here for?
I know. Let's have a party.
Let's have a party. Every day's vacation.
Yeah. Every time we're trying to eat right, and we go somewhere, she'll say, "But it's a vacation. You're on vacation." So then here we go, gaining 5 to 10 more pounds.
It's happy weight. No.
Oh my goodness.
Listen, life is too short for all these hardcore diets, okay?
Yeah.
I want to eat what I love and still be healthy in the process, right?
Yeah.
But thank you, Mommy, for doing this with me.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Do you have any message you want to leave with the people? No pressure if you don't.
Just have fun. Be yourself. Show up. Be present in the moment. And have fun.
Yes. And laugh, because one thing Mommy does is laugh. Yes.
I
love you.
laughing.
Yes, absolutely. Real quick, where'd you get your laughter from?
Being around all those kids, your sisters and brothers. I mean, oh my God, we're laughing all the time.
That's beautiful.
I mean, we just laugh.
Yeah.
Even sometimes, even if it wasn't really funny.
Yeah.
We just laugh anyway.
Yeah.
And I remember one time my grandmother was trying to tell us to go to sleep, and we couldn't sleep. And then we were sitting in the bed. We were laughing. We just couldn't stop laughing because she was trying to tell us to go to sleep, but we couldn't go to sleep. And we just laughed and laughed and laughed. But I enjoy laughing, and my family makes me laugh. Oh my God!
They're not gonna do nothing else.
I'm telling you,
they're gonna make
they
you laugh.
always have something to say.
Yeah.
You know, somebody's always on the hot seat.
Yes, somebody is always it. Always.
So
yeah,
I enjoy that.
Yeah. Do you think? Because when I hear about you growing up and you all growing up, like you all didn't have a lot of means, right? And so it's like, but you had joy.
Yes.
You had joy. Like hearing the stories, like and seeing your faces light up when you tell these stories, like you would never know, right? Like it's almost like, from what it seems like to me, obviously I wasn't there, but it seems like you didn't know what you didn't have because you had everything, right?
And we had the community.
Yes. That's beautiful.
Yes.
I love that. I think that's a great way to close.
Yeah.
So yes. Thank you, Mommy, for doing this.
You're welcome.
Yay! And Mommy will be back. We'll be doing this again.
Okay.
But yes, I love you. Thank you. And live with joy.
Sweetie. Yes, live with joy.
Maybe you both live with joy.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
Yay!
Yay.
You did good, Mommy.
Thank you.